The matter chop hot.
Assembly Diloto. Hey! Aye!
We went into the court the very first time we sat on this platform, Chemo and I, and we came back into our own space talking about some people being appointed. But then, looks like we are heading back to the court again because there's another legal issue on our hands, and this is Sarkodie Sues Ecobank Ghana, and it has generated conversations too. But when some of these things come, of course, in the space, people will speculate. That is when you know we have 30 million legal practitioners here in Ghana. And then now, so far, I've seen so many commentaries. But then, we don't want to speculate. But we want to give education even into this. Not to contempt, though, but to also educate some of our viewers and people who are also following this particular conversation. Which is why today, another special edition, my name, Roland Amate, and I have with me in Team Dodo Solomon, aka Chemo, who happens to be the head of online and content creation on Flex Entertainment, and he's also the boss of Intidosu Digital Solutions. To help me, who is also, paralegal, unofficial legal practitioner. Unofficial legal practitioner to help us enter into the details of the rate of sermon and what it entails, and if this is also going to be a hollow victory. Okay, first one. So make sure you subscribe, share your views in the comment section. Let me hear from you. Chemo, welcome.
Yeah, thank you, bro.
Chemo, how was your weekend?
Yeah, it was intense. Even though I was at home watching what is happening. I mean, you people there, I know what you went through. So yeah, it was like that. It was that intense. So for me, I was monitoring everything from home, but still, I wasn't easy like that. Yeah.
While Shatta and Pella had taken over the space, the internet space, Sarkodie was also throwing rate of sermon beneath. And this is the document that I have on my desk today. It says, in the High Court of Justice Commercial Division, Michael Uswado, aka Sarkodie, and the plot number, and the address, and Ecobank Ghana Limited, and its address as well. And this is an action having been commenced against you by the issue of this rate by the above named plaintiff, that is Michael Uswado, aka Sarkodie. Not to waste time, we are going straight into the statement of claim, and that is where a case because where ni bibia the compensation and now free mono and here. Let's go into the statement of claim. So the first one says a declaration that the conduct of the defendant in publishing the image of the plaintiff in relation to its product is a breach of the intellectual property rights of the plaintiff. B, a declaration that the conduct of the defendant in publishing the image of the plaintiff in relation to its product is in breach of the provision of the Protection Against Unfair Competition Act 2000, as well as Act 589. The C says an order of perpetual injunction to restrain the defendant, its agent, and assigns from associating the image of the plaintiff with its product without the consent of the plaintiff. An order of the defendant, this is D, to withdraw all publications of his image in relation to its product. An order for the defendant to pay damages as compensation for breach of intellectual property rights of the plaintiff, and the F1 says cost. Someone would ask, why is Sarkodie and his legal team demanding all these things from Ecobank Ghana? So the issue stems from when, not long ago, Ecobank Ghana have started running some campaign, and here the campaign is on fraud and scam in connection with online transactions. And here, with that particular campaign, they are using what we call the look-alike in doing that, and one that captures another look-alike of Sarkodie is what has generated this conversation. So they sent or they posted or made publications whereby they posted a gentleman that looks like Sarkodie. Not Sarkodie though, but looks like Sarkodie. That is what people are saying. And this is the caption that came with it. It says, "Be alert, looks can be deceiving." And on the flyer, the guy is there. And they gave a hashtag, "It's giving scam." And they wrote boldly, "Looks can be deceiving." And it says, "Dear valued customer, we live with our anti-fraud campaign. Oh, we are live with our anti-fraud campaign. Looks can be deceiving with the hashtag "It's giving scam." For a confidence trick to be successful, it needs to look innocent and original. This campaign is aimed at raising awareness on fraud detection and the various forms of scams in our industry. And this and many more is what was publicized. After this whole thing was publicized, of course, Sarkodie, that we know to be the brand ambassador of First Bank, was also posted on the official Instagram page, and they also gave a different caption. So people even thought that, oh, the way things are going there, perhaps this may be one of those recent social media banter where people use some official pages of companies to do some jabs here and there. We've been seeing that with GTV and all of that. So people actually trivialize the whole conversation only for us to wake up and get this particular rate of sermon. So this is what First Bank Ghana also posted. They said, when you can't afford the real deal, you go for the look-alike, but there's only one original, and the hashtag Sarkodie. Be original, you first. That is their tagline. But that is not the bone of contention here. My problem, or what I want to know, are the details in connection with the rate of sermon and how we can educate and explain and what to expect moving forward. Chemo, Makasa Bebre. Already about honum.
Yep.
Because when you read through the statement of claim, and also, first of all, what do you make of this rate of sermon or this lawsuit from Sarkodie to Ecobank Ghana? What it entails and their statement of claim?
Yep. It is an interesting one. I mean, just that there are some issues that we have to clear before we even go deeper.
Okay.
And the issue is that as it stands now in Ghana here, there's no direct law that protects individual image rights like the way that they are presenting their case. But not so fast. I mean, there are some laws that protect individuals' image using for commercial purpose or something that they call invasion of privacy.
Okay.
Yes. So under the Ghana Constitution 1992, Article 18, subsection 2, there's something that they call privacy. And under the privacy, they have a statement that when you, an example, when a photographer take a picture of you, he owns the rights of that photographic image. Like he owns the right of taking you the picture. In this case, we can say he owns the artistic right of the image.
Picture now,
picture now,
picture now, okay.
Or no, they try. And you know, say the money any day. Said the Oma opposition here. Said the or the light to so. Said the opune to the trial. It is an artistic image now. We're creating. So he has the right to that image. But he can't use it for commercial purpose without your consent.
I see. Because
when he go ahead to use it, this is what could happen. One, you can sue for defamation. And that defamation will only hold when picture now you see a defaming.
Okay. When
the picture in a way is depicting you in a way that can be considered as defamatory, then you can sue. It is his artistic right.
Right.
But when he is using it for a commercial purpose, he has to seek your consent before he can use it. So some people can say that, okay, based on this, Sarkodie can take Ecobank to court because of that. Because you can't use someone's image without their consent.
Especially for commercial purpose.
Yes.
Okay.
For commercial purpose, you can't use it. So you can say that Article 18 in the Ghana Constitution, subsection 2, is in favor of Sarkodie's claim if we are just going for the image.
The image right.
Right, yes. If you are going for that, then that one will hold. But when you go through Ghana Copyright Act, so the article is different from the Copyright Act, Ghana Copyright Act 2005.
That is a bylaw.
690, yes.
That is a bylaw.
Yes, for only copyright issues.
Okay.
We have, you see, there are a lot of laws in Ghana here. Just that every law that we have should either conform with the constitution or it will be considered null and void, as they call it. Okay. So when we consider, like, the first place that we can go is to look at the Ghana copyright law. If there's anything in there that can support Sarkodie's claim or what they are seeking to get, because they were talking about intellectual property and image right and all those things. When we go there too, unfortunately, there's no direct law that can help them in that sense. But you see, sometimes you can use something closer to what the law says to make your case, hoping that the judge will hold it on your behalf. So when you go through the copyright law, okay, there's a section 19. The copyright law is Act 2005 Act 690. For those who wants to make reference, they can go for that. It's copyright law 2005 Act 690. Okay, when you go for section 19 subsection 2, there's also something that can in a way protect you a bit.
Okay.
Yes. So that section is also saying that that section, the main purpose of that section is to tell you permission that you have without even asking the copyright owner.
Okay.
For you to use a content without asking the copyright owner, here are some of the things that you have to consider.
Okay.
If you pass all these things, or if you pass this particular clause, then you can use that content without consulting the copyright holder.
Like in music terms, there is the interpolation, the fair use, sampling, and all of that.
Things,
okay.
Yes. But before you can use that, according to Ghana copyright law, section 19, subsection 2, this is what you need to do. Okay, so let me try and quote it as it is. It says that for you to use that content, your usage shall be compatible with fair use practice.
Okay.
Shall be compatible with fair use practice. But it doesn't end there. Then it continues and says that the use shall be compatible with fair use practice, but shall not, but shall not unreasonably, but shall not unreasonably, I think, prejudice. Okay, that's the word. I want to use the word as it is. Okay, so it shall be compatible with fair use practice, but shall not unreasonably prejudice the legitimate interest of the right holder.
So who now determines
legitimate interest
of the right holder?
Unreasonably legitimate interest,
or what is considered reasonable
of the right holder. So that one, the court will deal with it.
Okay.
But in our normal life, there are certain things that we can consider unreasonable. Yes. So here is the thing. One, let me give an example of what we may consider as unreasonable. Is when Sarkodie will come and say that this image that you have used is my intellectual property, is my copyright, and because that you have used it, I've lost 10 billion.
You post a picture.
Oh,
10 billion.
Now picture me, but I try go Facebook. I'm not going using it free.
Baba for.
So that would be an unreasonable claim to make. So by the reasonable one would be like, okay, Sarkodie's image that you are using, you could have used it for a deal with some group of people, and based on the fact that you were using that particular image, Sarkodie couldn't get the deal. So that one is reasonable if he can prove it.
Okay.
Yes. So the law is giving that thing, but all of this will be assessed by a judge, and then the judge will decide whether it is reasonable or unreasonable. So how can we link this to the case going on? Okay, the link is that when it is, you see, it says that if it unreasonably prejudice the legitimate interest of the right holder. So the legitimate interest in this case will be the commercial use, because Sarkodie can sell his image. So it is legitimate when he claims that you are infringing on that because you are using the image.
It is causing a loss to him.
To him and all those things, yes. So in this case, if we agree that the Ecobank people have used Sarkodie's image, then obviously Sarkodie will qualify for this protection under the Copyright Act 19 Section 2, because there is a commercial use for it here. So Article 19 of the Article 18 of Ghana Constitution Section 2, privacy of image, and then Copyright Act 2005 Act 690 Section 19 subsection 2 is also in favor of Sarkodie in that sense, but it is not direct. Why am I saying it is not direct? All of these laws that I'm mentioning, there's no word that says that if the person is using look-alike, you can see.
Because the laws that you've quoted and the infringing on the rights and what have you, people are asking, now say you share picture now. And yes, Sarkodie posting.
Exactly.
And yes, Sarkodie posting. Even the bank that he is an ambassador to came to post an original photo of him. It's your because Ecobank for the
yes, exactly.
So what is in it for Ecobank now if they would want to hold the defense against this
whatever is going on?
On.
Okay, for Ecobank, I think the first stage will be simple thing for them. The first thing that they will do or that they can do is to just enter the appearance, as they call it in court, and then says that they have no case to answer, so they should dismiss the case. And the reason is that they have not used Sarkodie's image. So if Sarkodie is claiming, according to the statement of claim that you read, it is saying that they have used his image. They were not saying that it was look-alike. No. They were saying that they have used his image. So if they have used his image, and then the Ecobank team will say, no, you have not used his image, so just dismiss the case. So I think that will be the first line of defense that the Ecobank people will take. But you see, it is not as simple as that. It's not that simple. Yes. Yes, it's an interesting case. Ecobank can go and say that we have not used his image, so it is not, I mean, we don't have any case to answer, let's dismiss it. But Sarkodie's team or the lawyers can also say that, yes, they may claim that they have not used his image, but we can prove that their intent is to use Sarkodie's image. So here, now it has just gone beyond just the mere image that you see, by the intent. So now, if they can prove that the intention of the Ecobank is to use Sarkodie's image, But if they cannot get it direct because they don't want to pay, then they will use somebody who will be the lookalike, and then the impression will still be that Sarkodie is the one here that they are using for the commercial value that they are going for. So that's where the case will now get into the argument of when they use your image, what is your right, and if even the image is not for you, what are they going to do, and all those things. So if, let's say that we have jumped that hurdle of whether they have used his image or not. Yes, now let's assume that they have used the image. What are some of the defense that they can still put up that will make it difficult for Sarkodie and his team to win this case? Some of the one, now Sarkodie, even if they have used your image, you have to prove the damage that using your image will cost you.
When they use my image it cost me $2 million.
Yes, you can't just say it for them to give it to you. Now you have to prove that indeed it cost you $2 million. The simple way to prove that is the fact that if you have any contract with any other organization, then they will terminate it. Then you can use that termination as the damage that they have caused.
You bring receipts.
Yes, exactly. Or you have to prove harm. The harm in this case is that people will laugh at you. In that case, it is entering into the realm of defamation. People will laugh at
Public
you.
ridicule.
Yes, or they are misrepresenting you in a way that will not make you look good. Like in this case, let's say that Sarkodie and his team can prove that they did that to ridicule that he's not a trusted person, because the ad was saying that
it's giving
scam. It's giving scam. So if Sarkodie can prove that, oh, they were doing that to ridicule me, and now if I move or if I'm on stage performing and everything, reasonable people are calling me is giving scam, or they think that I'm not trustworthy and all those. Yeah, exactly. They have to prove that, and this is difficult thing to do. So that's why I'm saying that yes, it is not a simple case the way we see it, but it is also very difficult for Sarkodie and his legal team to win this case. Because it is not as simple as some people wish it will be, so that Sarkodie will just win the case. For me, the interesting part is that because we don't have direct laws, because we don't have laws that would deal with the look-alike thing, I think going forward, maybe this case will give us something, even if Sarkodie loses the case, or even if Sarkodie wins the case. Still, then we will have something to stand on. Because, yes, now people can sue or take people to court and then reference what happened between Sarkodie versus Ecobank. Yes, exactly. So that's the positive side of it. But it is not as simple as we see it in the media or people talking about it. Yes. And again, just looking at what the statement of claim is giving, I think it is not looking good just looking at it, because for me the defense will be that they are not using your image. Just that I'm still saying that it is also not simple for them to just say that we are not using your image when they can prove the intent of using this image. So one thing that we are not sure is what Sarkodie and his legal team they have that they have not given out yet.
As in say be
so, because if they can have if they can get internal memo of the Ecobank marketing team, and in that memo they were talking about us going to use Sarkodie and all those things, and if they have that, then they can easily prove the intent of the Ecobank team, and this will not go well for the Ecobank team if there's something like that. If someone will sold them out and they have given some of these ammunitions to them. If they are giving some of these things to the Sarkodie's team, then
competitor,
yes,
like sell
out to big sellout, then the Ecobank people will be in trouble. But if there's nothing like that, then it is difficult for Sarkodie and the legal team to prove this because we don't have specific legal backing for what they are going for. So it makes it difficult. For the Ecobank team, they will go technical first until they get to the point of, even if they have used your image, what is the cost, what is the damage, how do you prove it, before, even if they have to compensate you, then they will do it. But the other good side for the Sarkodie team, or one thing that they may be exploring, is the fact that Ecobank can decide to settle without even going to court.
As a corporate entity.
They don't want bad news and all those things. They don't want to drag issues, so they can also call Sarkodie and say, hey, Charlie, just stop doing this. Let us give you something so that we stop talking about it cry in the first place. So they can also settle. So for all you know, maybe that's what they are going for.
Okay. Well, we are wrapping up, but 1 minute. I want your view on this. Looking at how this look-alike thing became a norm in the space, where there was an influx left, right, center, because my information on my checks also tells me that it is not only this particular image that has been used in this campaign.
Yeah.
Even Saba Kubino can promise look-alike apartheid. Also, yeah, they not be that. So now, in your opinion, do you think now these look-alikes are going to be scared moving forward on how they portray themselves in the space and their dealings? Because we can or you look alike in money in the
yes.
Money in the Ecobank in Koye Jumana. What do you think will be their reaction moving forward after this particular news?
If after the law, I think what will happen is that they will be careful how they say things. They will be careful. In fact, they can still get jobs. They can still do their thing, but they have to make sure that they don't give the impression that they are doing it in the name of somebody.
Okay.
Looking like someone is not a crime, and it doesn't mean that you, like you said, I can't go and work with anybody because I look like Sarkodie. They should give that job to Sarkodie. No. But you cannot give any impression, or you cannot make it look like you are doing this
because you look like
Sarkodie. Yes, exactly. So the statement that you make in whatever you do, the action that you portray should be unique to you. It shouldn't be like you are trying to mimic someone, because in that case, the unfair competition may catch you. Yes, because some people can unfairly compete, and in that sense, because they will pay you cheaper, you are going to act like somebody that you are not. For people to be confused that you are in fact that person, then they pay you less as they will pay you the other guy. You are obviously going to get more job than the other guy. Sure. So they will use the unfair competition to stop you or to take you to court or something like that. But nobody can stop you if you get it right, or if you are doing it in the right way.
Well, I'm sure at this point we've had enough education on this particular issue, that is Sarkodie versus Ecobank Ghana. You've also heard some of the things in the space. You've read wide on the internet. You can share your views in the comment section. Perhaps there are certain things that I left out, or certain things that Chemo left out. If there are any further questions that you would want to ask, you can definitely show them or write them in the comment section, and maybe we will just gather all of them, and in subsequent editions come and explain or do proper analysis of it. But then, I hope you enjoyed this particular episode. My name is Roland Amate. Make sure you subscribe and recommend this channel to others. Bye-bye.
The matter chop hot. Assembly Diloto. Hey! Aye! Hey!